And the stigma out there in society doesn't help. It doesn't make things any easier for people like me to start asking for help. There are hardly any resources to begin with that we can ask for help, so there are no professionals that are readily available to us free of charge or through like a blog or something where we don't have to spend $500 on a visit, you know, just because we need a calm person to help us calm down. We don't need our whole life to be figured out. We just need this one moment in time to have a little support and figure things out. We're having to go to our friends and family, and a lot of our friends and family don't understand. And they don't have the time in their lives, which is understandable. They don't have the time in their lives to educate themselves properly and thoroughly on what goes on when you have anxiety or depression, because there aren't any resources out there for the general public to just read and experience and understand in what ways they can help. That causes me more anxiety on top of my already anxiety when I have to try and figure out what ways someone can help me, because I don't know. And I'm not expecting, like I said, we're not expecting our whole lives to be figured out by other people. It's mainly just we need to feel a sense of comfort and safety. Just being there and listening can really help. And listening with an open heart, an open mind, leaving all the prejudices you might have about mental health behind, because that's not going to help anybody. Just being able to listen is a big thing. Listening, just being there, being a solid person that we can sit next to, or that we can blubber away to until we're okay, is a huge thing. And doing so without judgment, without preconceived notions, without any kind of narrow-minded outlook, is huge. I can't help you. One, you don't know that. And two, if why you're saying that is because you don't want to help, then you need to say that instead. Don't say I can't help you, just say I don't want to help you. Because, you know, you can help us. If you don't want to do those things, then that's what you need to say. Because you saying I can't help you relieves you of any kind of responsibility to help a friend or a family member, and it puts it all back on us. We already have the responsibility. That's why we're asking for help. That's us taking responsibility for needing help. And if you say I can't help you, then it's like, oh crap, I'm unhelpable as a person, you know, with anxiety and depression. No one can help me, you know. And that sounds dramatic, but really a lot of times that's the kind of thought processes that creep in when you're not prepared, or when you're when you're strung really thin already. Those are the kind of thought processes that just love to creep in. The next one I have is also kind of related to my personal situation right now. It's our idea of success is different. At least mine is. For me, a fully successful life looks like having my own apartment, having a job that I like to do, that I'm capable of doing, that doesn't trigger me in big ways that, you know, cause me to not want to go to work anymore. And just being happy, being able to maintain a little bit of control. You know, everyday successes for me, if I find myself triggered or on the brink of an episode or super anxious, if I'm able to calm myself down before anything happens, that's success. That's a successful day. Even if it happens once, and even if it happens at like 11 o'clock at night, and the whole rest of the day I've just been like, this is a shit day, that's a valid success. For anyone to say that that doesn't equate to a full life of success, screw you. I guess the next 2 points I've kind of already touched on. It's all encompassing. It is physically, mentally, and emotionally exhausting every single day. It's like running a marathon of your life. From the time you wake up to the time you go to sleep. And for me, I have super vivid dreams, so sometimes it doesn't even stop when I'm sleeping. Sometimes it just carries right on through the night. I have awful vivid dreams, and then I have to wake up and try and deal with all night of sleeping, plus whatever the day has to present to me, and whether it's a good day or a bad day, you know? So it is all encompassing every single day. You don't get a break from any of the mental struggles. You don't get a break from the physical struggles, like I said, shaking. And you definitely don't get a break from the emotional struggles, whether it be people telling you phrases that are hurtful, whether it's things that trigger you emotionally, that cause anxiety, whether it's something that makes you really happy and then all of a sudden you're like, you can't understand why you're that happy, and sometimes that causes it too. We can be super happy and then be like, oh shit, I'm way too happy. Something bad is gonna happen because I'm way too happy. It never stops, and I don't think people understand that. When we say we're having a good day, that means it feels like most of those things are balanced. Triggers are triggers, and unfortunately, sometimes you just can't see them coming. So, the last one is we're not faking it. For anyone who discredits all of the studies, haven't been much, so get on that science, who discredits anything about mental health is a fucking dumbass. It's real. First of all, no one would ever want to fake this shit. Ever. People who don't have anxiety or depression can't understand it the way that they seriously can't understand it now. There's no way that someone who doesn't have it would be able to fake it. Really, there isn't. You would find out. You might be fooled for a little while, but there is no way that long term they'd be able to fake it, because it sucks. No one wants this. No one wants to be like this. The attention we receive for it is not attention anyone wants, especially us for getting it because we have it. It's negative. It's judgmental. It's roll your eyes, oh my God, kind of attention. None of it is good, ever. And if you get medicated, sometimes it's even worse, because then you can't feel like yourself and you just feel like a zombie walking around, and you can feel yourself trying to be itself, but you've got all this medication just pushing down on it like, no, you can't be this way. You can't be yourself because you can't control yourself. It's awful. There's no way, there's no good reason whatsoever for anyone to want to fake this, because it's not fun. It's not something enjoyable ever. It is the bane of my existence. And the only reason why I keep going and I, somehow find a way to be happy is that there are those fleeting moments when everything is in balance and you feel 100% like yourself and everyone around you is accepting you. Those moments are what make it worth it, to keep fighting and to try to keep understanding parts of myself that I don't understand. And, loving the parts that are hectic while also being able to maintain a little bit of control over them. I feel like there needs to be more talk. People need to talk about this, and they can't just be making memes and, people only get 140 characters to say what they need to say when they're having an episode or when they've witnessed an episode. We need to talk about this, and it's okay to talk about it. The more we talk about it, the more people who have anxiety and depression are going to be able to live their lives without the fear of no one loving them or no one understanding them or no one wanting to have them around, because that's how we feel. That's how we feel a lot of the time. If you have any comments, especially about, coping mechanisms that have worked for you, phrases that are either hurtful or are helpful, I would be glad to have you comment on it. yeah, hopefully this will start a movement. I don't know. Talk about it. That's the best thing. Just keep talking about it. We won't let this be swept under the rug anymore. It can't be, because there's way too many people dealing with this that need to be heard. So, thank you.